Hello and welcome back to London Cycle Routes. Today I'll be showing you how to cycle from Angel in North London to Shoreditch in the East End. This ride takes under 15 minutes and you can do the whole thing on quiet streets and protected cycle lanes. By public transport, the same journey will take around 20 minutes, so you can certainly save time by getting on your bike. If you find this video useful or you just enjoy watching it, then please don't forget to hit subscribe, as I try to post new videos just like it every week. I'd also like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon. If you'd like to contribute as well, you can find a link in the description below the video. Alright, let's get going. So we're starting on Upper Street near Angel Tube Station and we're going to dive down Duncan Street. There's a tiny stretch of cycle lane on the pavement here, which makes the road two-way for bikes, as it is one-way for cars. The first thing you'll notice is just how many people there are walking in the road and also on bikes as well. It all looks pretty idyllic. This area is part of one of Islington's low traffic neighbourhoods called St Peter's LTN, and that's removed all the through motor traffic from this area. As a result, the streets around here are extremely quiet and really pleasant to cycle on. For the first minute or so of this journey, we're actually following a signposted cycle route called Cycleway 27, and you can see C27 is written on the ground and on signposts along the way. This is a useful backstreet route that stretches up to Hackney, Waltham Forest and beyond, but we're not going to be going all that way today. In fact, as we go around this corner, we'll be braking from it and turning down Burgh Street here. This is a more convenient and direct route for us than staying on C27. And one of the nice things about low traffic neighbourhoods is that they calm traffic across a wide area, so you don't have to stick to designated routes and can explore a bit without fear of running into heavy traffic. Burgh Street, by the way, is named after James Burgh, an 18th century Whig politician whose most famous quote was, "All lawful authority, legislative and executive, originates from the people." He died in 1775, so 1 year before the American Revolution. He actually ran an academy nearby, which is why the street is named after him. We've just turned into the Canal Side Square development, which is laid out in a way that means there's no through traffic going here, so it's all really pleasant to cycle through. At the back of the square, you'll find a bridge which will take us across the Regent's Canal. In theory, you could get on the canal towpath here and cycle all the way to Limehouse traffic free, although I personally don't really recommend it at busy times, as the canal towpath can get pretty rammed. If you'd like to see other ways of getting to Limehouse from here, then you could consult the map of London Cycle Routes videos, which lays out all the videos I've done in map form. Thank you so much to John, who did that originally, and also to Isaac, who's updated it, and to everybody else who's also offered to update it in the meantime. That map is entirely viewer created, and I can't take any credit for it myself. There's an interesting sight here. If you look by the road, you'll see these orange bags that are sitting over what look like traffic lights, and the reason for that is this coming up here. It's a modal filter that cars can't drive through. This is actually part of the Hoxton West low traffic neighbourhood, which was installed by Hackney Council, and it's reduced traffic on Shepherdess Walk so much that those traffic lights are no longer needed. That's really quite nice for us and the other people walking and cycling through here, and I think the lights will be permanently removed soon. We're now crossing back into the borough of Islington. The borough boundaries are slightly confusing around here, and we're benefiting from another new cycle scheme which only went in a couple of months ago. The council has effectively flipped the one-way direction for motor traffic while leaving it two-way for bikes, and while that's a really subtle change, because of the layout and the streets of the area, it's made Bath Street extremely pleasant to cycle down. It effectively means that there's no reason for through traffic to go onto the street at all, and it's now basically access only. Incredibly, if you look online, you'll find that this scheme has been under discussion for about a decade, so it really is great that it's finally happened. By the way, for those of you who are interested, I do now have a replacement bike for my one which was stolen, and I did jump on it straight away and go out and record about 5 videos on Saturday. You might have been able to spot that it was a new bike because when I put my camera on the handlebars on the new bike, you can see a little bit more of the bars and also the gear cables I'd be interested to know what people think of that. Is it distracting? Would you rather I got a slightly higher mount to try and get it out of the shot? Or is it okay? Do let me know in the comments, as I was a little bit annoyed when I first saw it. Now I'm thinking maybe it doesn't matter so much, but if it's just a case of just getting a 10 quid mount to get it out, maybe I will fix it. We're now entering our second new cycle scheme. It's another brief one, but Hackney has pedestrianised Leonard Street and put a nice two-way cycle track through it. It's a big improvement, and it does quieten down some of the streets in the area, as well as Leonard Street itself, and Leonard Circus here. The works for that were only finished a matter of weeks ago, so it really is hot off the tarmac press. Now, there are a few ways to cross Great Eastern Street. We could have kept going up Paul Street there is a crossing there, but we're going to weave down Willow Street, which is generally pretty quiet. I'm just going to show you an alternative way of crossing it. This junction was actually rebuilt a while ago, and it has a slightly weird crossing. I'd probably actually cycle straight to the street we're going to here rather than going to the pavement. That is a toucan crossing, so you are allowed to cycle over it, but it's probably easier to just go straight onto Garden Walk than to squeeze onto the pavement. Coming up here, I nearly get hit by a football, and you know what? I think it's the best thing that's happened on the entire ride. I would rather get held up 10 times by kids playing football in the street than once by an SUV. If a street is safe enough for kids to play football in, then it's probably a pretty good street. The stretch of Rivington Street we went through is partly pedestrianised, as is this section here. Unfortunately, when I came down here, there was a lorry loading out the contents of a shop, which is absolutely fair enough. There's some things that you do just need a lorry to do. There was also some building work on the right here, so I'm just walking my bike. You can see the stones being laid there, and it looks like that's going to be some quite nice paving surfacing. So when we come back, I'm sure things will look a little bit more orderly. But for now, we just had to wheel it and then get back on our bike just for the last section up to Shoreditch High Street. And you can see on this sunny day that Shoreditch really does look quite nice. There's quite a lot of people out enjoying themselves, and I think we have seen a lot of London at its best today. So we're here. Thanks very much for watching that, guys. Do let me know what you think about the new view from the new bike. I might get a new mount and see what happens. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe. It is free and you will get alerted to new videos, and it just helps grow the channel if you like what we're doing on here. Alternatively, if you really like the channel, you could always join everyone who's supporting it on Patreon. Thank you so much to those of you who already do. You are fantastic. And yeah, it's great to just be back on my bike making videos for you guys, because I do really enjoy it. And just thank you so much for watching it, and I will see you guys again next time.